Hello, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining me today for a discussion of the digital transformation. I'm Nell Verinas, your host, and we're going to have fun today discussing something that's on a lot of people's minds today and where there's a little bit of wonderment. So let's just dive right in. Oh, by the way, this show is for businesses, business owners, consultants, executives, coaches, and also practitioners. If you've ever wondered about how to incorporate digital transformation into your organization, your entity, this show's for you. All right, here we go. All right, harnessing the digital transformation, the executive's dilemma. I'm Nell Verinas, and I am the CEO of Marketing Digiverse and SoCal Digital Studio, marketing AI training and consulting companies. So I'm glad you're here. Glad you could join. This program is being recorded. Copies of this slide deck are available on request. You'll find that the decks are dense with information on purpose. I want this deck to be a resource for you. And also, because of the volume of information provided, we request that if you have comments, suggestions, or questions, you contact me at nalina@marketingdigiverse.ai or schedule a meeting at the link given. So questions that we're going to address are, what is the digital transformation? What are its implications for businesses? And what is its current state? What is its future state? How can we leverage what we have learned? Let me tell you a little bit about me. I do train and advise businesses, business owners, and executives on business marketing and development, strategic planning, and business and marketing technologies. My experience includes integrating enterprise financial and reporting systems and customizing analytical software to satisfy corporate requirements, as well as marketing. And I have a financial and technological background, and also and interest in human behavior. So this is right up my alley. What is digital transformation and why is it important? Digital transformation is the digitization and digitalization of data, taking analog data and digitizing it, using that data and incorporating it into our operations to optimize operations for efficiency and to use data throughout an organization to help improve it at all levels. The components of digital transformation include strategy and leadership. We need leadership who can drive the strategy. Also, are people prepared for the transformation? How can we make ourselves more efficient? Are one of the questions that we want to answer with a digital transformation initiative. And also, how can we leverage this data to make decisions? What technologies are needed to meet our goals? And what are the results we're looking for? Maybe that last question is what we want to start with first. So digital transformation encompasses all of these steps. We assess where we are and where we want to be. We assess what we think digitization can do for us, the DX scan. We look at our business cases and we want to see where in our business cases we can apply digitization. And many cases include repetitive actions and also things that calculators or machines do better than humans, which is calculating a lot of data very fast. Machines do that much better than people do. Commitment. We need commitment from those stakeholders in the initiative, be they consumers, be they executives, be they the workers, be they the vendors. Everyone needs to be on board with this in order for it to work efficiently and work well and to have the best solution. And then after we have all of these discussions within our organizations and within our sphere of stakeholders, then we look to improve it. We look to identify, improve it, scale it, test it again, retest it, review it, and then see what sticks. See which answers, which solutions are best for our situations. Just want to play a little tape for you, a little video for you. I think this will bring some of this together for you.
For retail consumers, 55% of B2B buyers say they search for product or vendor information on social media. And according to a 2017 CloudCraze study, 55% of B2B buyers expect mobile access to a seller's e-commerce platform. Even your own products, employees, and business operations are already dependent on digital technology. The digital transformation continues to accelerate for two main reasons. First, technology is evolving at an exponential rate. Second, data is far more plentiful and usable. Mastering emerging technology has always made the difference between companies being competitive or barely keeping up. What makes today's digital transformation different is the extreme importance of data. Not just big batches of data, but real-time data. Data about your consumers, data about your competitors, data about your supply chain, data about your markets. Having this data and knowing how to use it pulls your critical business decisions out of the shadow of opinion or guesswork and brings intelligent options into the light instantly, so your business can do new things and do things right.
All right. So I hope that kind of solidified things for you for where we are right now in our discussion. But why is digital transformation important? We've alluded to these improvements, but let's spell them out here. It reduces costs as a result of time savings and processes. It increases the speed of response to changes in demand in the market. It drives the culture of innovation, preparing the company to anticipate any disruption. It empowers decision-making By deepening data analysis or big data, it opens the door to new business opportunities and revenue streams, enabling the creation of new products and services. And it also generates a competitive advantage for the company by being able to enhance the quality of the products manufactured. There are probably many more. We are really at the early stages of this transformative wave that we're experiencing now. So when did the digital transformation begin, really? Well, some say that it began when the internet emerged in the 1990s. That's some 34 years ago. And then 10 years later, we see the rise of cloud computing and social media. 10 years hence, AI, big data, and IoT become mainstream. IoT, the Internet of Things. So we think about smart homes. We think about being able to broadcast from our phones a YouTube video onto our smart TVs. We think about calling and hiring an Uber driver to come pick us up. We can check our app and see exactly where the Uber driver is and how long it's going to take for the Uber driver to arrive. These are all examples of the Internet of Things. That is integrating information on systems, on applications, on different platforms. This is well, you'll see later what Jeff Bezos had to say about that. And then in the 1920s, the digitization of our lives was sped up, completely accelerated at a crazy, dizzying speed in the 2020s. So currently, between 70 and 80% of businesses have adopted some form of digital transformation, and the adoption has been increasing year by year. The leading companies in the digital transformation movement are notably Amazon, who has automated and used AI and customer data analytics to improve its service of its customers. And I think most of us on the planet Earth are customers of Amazon. In some way, shape, or form, they have been dominated. Tesla has used digital transformation to improve their manufacturing and autonomous driving technologies. Walmart has created an omni-channel retail and supply chain digitization approach. Now, the customer issues that have been addressed typically are the customer experience, improving that. If we don't have sales, if we don't have happy customers, we don't have sales or repeat sales. Then enhanced customer experience through data-driven insights, operational efficiencies, automation and streamlined processes help us with creating efficient operations. And developing new business models are increasingly on the forefront of how we use digital transformational technologies and tools. So Jeff Bezos, back in 2002, told his programmers, all service, and I'm going to the last paragraph, all service interfaces without exception must be designed from the ground up to be externalizable. That is to say, the team must plan and design to be able to expose the interface to developers in the outside world. No exceptions. Anyone who doesn't do this will be fired. Thank you. Have a nice day. Very friendly note. So APIs, the application programming interfaces, break down inefficiencies and unscalabilities of silos and asynchronous processes. They enable the flow of information throughout an organization at scale to foster innovation, agility, and synergistic growth and value creation. As a side note, ask me about OpenLayer. It's a company that I'm involved with. It's a highly cost-effective digital transformation enabler that shortens time to market and to value. Very exciting. So Domino's Pizza now has 70% of its orders coming from digital channels. The results included increased customer loyalty, higher sales, and improved operational efficiency. The company's approach centered around the objective of becoming the most convenient pizza delivery service, focusing on digital ordering platforms. Domino's introduced the Anywhere platform, allowing customers to order through various channels, including smart TVs, social media, and voice-activated devices. General Electric. Despite the challenges, GE Digital generated approximately $5 billion in revenue by 2017, showcasing the potential of industrial IoT. GE embarked on a general digital transformation journey by integrating industrial data with advanced analytics to create a digital industrial company. The approach involved developing the Predix platform, an industrial IoT software designed to analyze data from industrial machines and improve operational efficiency. Adobe's shift to a subscription model with Creative Cloud led to a 22% increase in revenue in 2015, the year after its transition, marking a significant milestone in its digital transformation. Adobe's digital transformation was driven by the need to transition from a traditional software licensing model to a cloud-based subscription service. The company's approach involved shifting its core products, such as Photoshop and Illustrator, to the Adobe Creative Cloud, allowing users to access software on demand with regular updates. The objective was to create a recurring revenue stream while offering customers greater flexibility and value. After implementing its digital strategy, Lego reported a 25% increase in sales in 2015, largely attributed to its successful integration of digital and physical play experiences. So Lego's digital transformation focused on enhancing customer engagement and innovation through the integration of digital technologies into its product offerings and operations. The approach involved creating digital platforms like Lego Life, a social network for children, and integrating augmented reality into physical Lego sets. Fun. To create interactive experiences. I want to play. And this is incredible to me. But Walmart's e-commerce sales grew by 97% in the second quarter of 2020. It's driven by its digital transformation efforts, particularly in online grocery and e-commerce integration. Walmart's digital transformation strategy aimed to enhance its competitive edge against e-commerce giants like Amazon by integrating digital technologies into its retail operations. The company's approach involved investing heavily in e-commerce, expanding its entire online grocery services, and utilizing big data and artificial intelligence to optimize inventory management and supply chain efficiency. Talk about a tight-run ship. Siemens, their Digital Industries division saw a 10% growth in revenue in fiscal year 2018, driven by the adoption of digital twin technology and other digital initiatives, which reinforced its leadership in the industrial automation sector. So Siemens' digital transformation was centered around the concept of Industry 4.0, focusing on the digitization of manufacturing processes through the use of IoT, AI, and data analytics. The company's approach involved developing digital twin technology, which allows for the creation of virtual models of physical assets, enabling predictive maintenance and optimization of manufacturing processes. All of these companies display some models that we can follow in our own businesses, which is why I've presented them to you today. So take a little bit from what you've learned from each one of them and see how you can apply them to your businesses. But here we find that notably, small business and medium enterprises are lagging, as are traditional manufacturers. There are limited resources and knowledge, and there is a hesitation to change long-standing processes in both of these arenas. And reasons for adopting the digital transformation or digitization of a company are the high costs of initial investment, the fear of change, and the fear of potential disruptions, as well as the lack of expertise. And this is something we need to address if we're going to be able to successfully carry on and leverage the digital transformation tools. There's insufficient digital skills and knowledge. So even so, 25% of small or medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs, cite the digital transformation as a top challenge and a top need. 64% of these SMEs find it challenging to effectively use the data they already have, and 74% struggle to maximize the value of their company's data investments. So here are some statistics. I just want to show you how important SMEs are to world economies and the US. 99% of all businesses in the US are SMEs, and over 80% in the world are small or medium-sized enterprises. However, they contribute over 40% to the GDP, and also in the US employ over 40% of all eligible employees, whereas globally, over 60% of eligible employees work for SMEs. These are sobering statistics. So helping small and medium-sized enterprises will help economies manifold. So again, as we alluded to before, the limited financial and human resources that SMEs have available to them is a limiting factor. They have inadequate access to essential infrastructures. There is an absence of long-term vision and strategies regarding data management. Also, there's a lack of data policy and clarity on specific roles and responsibilities. There's an inadequate ability to extract value from data currently. There is limited IT infrastructure and limited ability to access global markets. These are all hurdles that small and medium-sized enterprises are dealing with. Now, each executive needs to start in their own backyard to figure out which of these they need to tackle first that will have the most impact. On the worldwide scape, the World Economic Organization poses these solutions, and that is that small and medium-sized businesses collaborate with others that have the capabilities that the small and medium-sized enterprises lack, that have access to the platforms that medium and small businesses lack, and that have the talent pool and the resources that SMEs lack. Partnerships with technology providers and educational institutions could inject valuable and cost-effective tools in capability building. Manufacturers, on the other hand, are more complex. As you would imagine, there are several supply chains that they manage. All the companies are in producing different goods, and some of them are OEMs, or the inputs to other goods, and some are finished goods, and some are the goods that go in between. So it's a very complex arena, but the process that they are most focused on are to automate their productions and assembly processes, leverage complex and connected and increasingly software-defined assets. So some of the areas that are improving right now in manufacturing are the internet or information technologies, operational technologies, and engineering technologies. There are those technologies that are used to apply to life cycle management, IT, OT, and ET. Industrial software bills of material are like a blockchain, keeping track of the software that helps manage the processes in manufacturing companies. And also some equipping the workforce with technology and augmented reality or augmented digital tools are more and more becoming the norm. What they're looking to grow is to be able to access cloud platforms more readily. And there is a problem with that, especially there is a mainframe that houses all of the main data, because sometimes the mainframes do not talk to cloud applications. And also composable hyperautomation. That is a modular approach to being able to solve manufacturing problems. Also, there's there's a growing need to address the digital thread enabled circularity, and that is to predict the the life cycle of products, and also plan the end of products so that we are responsibly, environmentally, sustainably, and humanly. We are responsible in those arenas. And then looking to the future, emerging technologies that manufacturers are looking toward are increasing the use of generative AI to enhance the R&D and engineering in manufacturing companies, but also using AI to configure lifecycle management of products and have machines as customers, more integration, deeper integration that enhances the predictability, the reliability, and the consistency of the output, and also developing an industrial metaverse into which there can be experimentation, data gathering, and more refinement in a metaverse that's parallel to our own realities. That is, creating a virtual reality of our own world and experimenting with it, learning from it. So for manufacturers, Gartner recommends that they take a go slow approach. Now, if those of you are in the manufacturing industry, I'd love to speak with you about this approach. We have solutions in my circle of industrial friends. But so Gartner recommends that we cultivate a composable thinking through education that's focused on composability concepts and modified by key performance indicators or KPIs. And then also establishing pilot programs for generative AI applications. So figuring out in a very incremental, intentional, go slow basis, figuring out exactly where AI can be used effectively, efficiently, and also to right now avoid large expenditures in foundational data backbone infrastructure by prioritizing infrastructure implementation partners that offer infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, so that the foundational backbone can grow stepwise. So again, with manufacturers, the challenges are around costs associated with technology acquisition and training, cultural resistance. Employees are reluctant to adopt new ways of working. They feel threatened, but there needs to be a whole strategy built around bringing the employees, your workforce, along, and also enhancing their skill levels so that they can be assets to the organization. Legacy systems. So there is an incompatibility with new technologies, as I mentioned before. If there are mainframes that don't have an easy way to provide data to other applications and all on mobile devices, in the cloud, or in other applications, then there is hands are tied a little bit there unless you find a solution to share data securely. And also there are regulatory challenges. Manufacturers adhere to systems where there is documentation and the ability to be able to certify their operations through documentation, being internationally ISO approved. There's a whole there are volumes and volumes of information that on that, so that manufacturers can be compliant, consistent, and compete internationally. Those guidelines now need to be adhered to. So let's move on to some of the digital transformation failures. This is across the board. Any failure can be linked to some of these four main areas: that there is a lack of clear strategy and buy-in, consistent buy-in from all the stakeholders, the digital efforts that are not aligned with business goals. The business goals could be different between people, between departments who might be siloed, and they might be siloed. The silos need to be broken down, and integration, if complete digital transformation is to happen in an organization to take advantage of the digital tools, then those silos need to be broken down, and the strategies need to be bought into from across the organization. Also, there is an underinvestment in change management and a failure to bring the workforce along. We want to prevent resistance as much as possible so that everyone feels part of the transformation, and that they contribute and are valued, appreciated. So help your workforce understand the strategy. Here, the strategy is a top-down flow, flowing from the top, and but appreciation everywhere along the way and support along the way is needed. Also, an over-reliance on technology, having technology make all the decisions, ignoring the human element of the transformation. Machines are still learning, and people need to teach them, but also people can learn from the data that machines gather so that the data can be analyzed and used effectively to help improve organizations from end to end. There is presence of data bias. If we're not careful, we could be coming to a wrong conclusion because the data is biased in some way, shape, or manner that gives us a wrong answer. Or, for example, Microsoft, in one of its initiatives, inadvertently had insulting responses from its artificial intelligent machines that were very scandalous even, but Microsoft quickly pulled down the machine and corrected the error. But deploying too soon before testing all of the data is also a problem. So be sure that the data is clean, reliable, and is accurate, is curated well, and is retrieved well, and is interpreted well, algorithmically, formulaically, and humanly. Also, changes that are most likely to slow us down include this lack of coordination that we alluded to earlier, that we pointed out, that there is not an owner of a process, that there is asynchrony across an organization or across a team, Also, that there is a lack of skills could slow us down. The skills that need to be trained into our machines or into our transformative tools and into our people, our workforce, need to be managed so that it does not slow the process down. The culture of innovation and digitization, a digital orientation, needs to be improved, enhanced, fostered, and dependence on legacy systems is going to slow us down too. An over dependence, shall we say. It would put up roadblocks against moving forward in a digitally transformative way that would help everyone. Privacy. Privacy is a concern. So much data is out there, and some of it gets loose or some of it gets stolen intentionally or leaked unintentionally. And we need to be careful as to how that data is handled. Sensitive data, of course, needs to have an extra layer or two of security around them in order for everyone to be accepting the digital transformation. We all need to be confident that the data is being managed reasonably, appropriately, and securely. And any private information is only seen or accessed by appropriate and authorized people. There is digital transformation fatigue. Like I said, the digital transformation has been running now since 2010 when the internet first came onto the forefront. And it's been a struggle, and perhaps Gartner's approach to go slower approach, a more incremental approach, is the way to go. That's for executives to decide, because too many mistakes does end up being very costly, which is another roadblock. We have only limited resources. We do not want to squander them or use them or spend them unnecessarily when there are so many better uses that we can put our resources to. So the digital strategy management imperative is a pretty, there was a pretty impressive study done by Deloitte. 4,600 companies were examined over the past 10 years. And what they found is that those companies who implemented a digital initiative experienced, and were successful, experienced a 14% market capitalization differential compared to those that failed to effectively manage their digital initiatives. So managing your digital initiatives responsibly and well can lead to a 14% market capitalization of a company. This 14% differential translates to a 2.75 trillion potential advantage for Fortune 500 firms alone. Organizations focusing solely on change without a digital strategy experience a 3 times less market cap growth. Something to think about. Now, with more successes, more executives are becoming encouraged, and where they see successes are in productivity, efficiency and cost savings, customer engagement, employee satisfaction, new business development, and also innovation. These areas are, in some cases, the expectations were exceeded. So companies are doubling down on those, you could be sure. Now, since leadership is increasingly buying into technology, and that is that in the last year, we see that 32% of the executives of large companies are in favor of investing more in digital transformation, in the digitization of their companies, versus 10% last year. This is a KPMG study. The top technologies that companies are investing in, no surprise, AI, or machine learning, followed by real automation, robotics, followed by VR and AR, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the metaverse. Then edge computing, or the Internet of Things, quantum computing, Web3 and tokenization, 5G, and the Internet of Everything. More on that later. So these same companies look at these innovative goals for the next 2 years. They would like to use technological solutions to increase their market, redirection to new regions, advancing the ESG priorities, which are equality, sustainability, and governance priorities, and also gaining insight from the data to increase value, improving processes, improving products and services, as well as expanding into new industries. So technological solutions using data, using user inputs, using all kinds of data from everywhere, including how many clicks we click on a button, show intention, and so forth, to help companies understand our buying intentions. But paramount also for the digital transformation to succeed well or be implemented well is that there be trust. And companies that brand themselves as being trustworthy and taking the extra steps do see an increase in business. So trust is an important parameter to include in your digital transformation strategy. Partly because there are government regulatory mandates that need to be adhered to that are secure and privacy related. Companies also want to use this digital trust to upsell and cross-sell. If customers are more trusting of a company, they're more likely to buy more from a company. And converting prospects into customers becomes a little easier because customers do trust a company if they're a company, say, for example, it didn't have a secure website versus one that did. Which one would you choose to do business with? The answer is pretty obvious. Then fast-tracking employee productivity is also a focus. Employee productivity helps toward developing trust in that you can deliver faster. So a company that can then produce product faster, that can deliver faster, is necessarily a more trustworthy company. They seem to have their act together. Then the customer feedback. Reviews are very important. So getting data from review sites or even your own website or even from your own products, getting feedback from your users, your customers, is important data that can be used to help move companies strategically forward in a direction that serves their customers better. Then third-party and partner ecosystem security. Vendors sometimes have access to the internal workings of an organization. So making sure that those vendors, as was the case in some recent hackings, where there's some vendors that have had unsecure access to a company, and they introduced a virus that the company couldn't, that was problematical to the company's operations. So securing, creating a privacy and security boundary around your vendors too is part of a security strategy, so that the entire supply chain, service chain, is controlled, and all of the security, there are no breaks in the security or privacy anywhere along the way. So the US is especially focused on security. Cybersecurity is a big buzzword now, as it should be. So there are regulatory requirements, and large businesses have said that they are going to use digital technology to help improve their ability to meet the requirements, but also to reinforce the trust of customers. They want to be able to assure their customers that everything is locked down and secure, to build resilience against attack. Even if they are attacked, to be able to bounce back quickly and or notify the public of how they're addressing the attack is an important strategy that must be addressed in an overall arching strategy. But minimizing or even preventing it in the first place is something that all businesses should look at. Secure third parties, again, vendors or other people who have access to the system of a company, and to increase the tech exploration confidence. So internally and externally, there are internal stakeholders and external stakeholders in a company. The security of data and also any information that's shared with the company needs to be locked down and secure. So to make security embedded as a core value in a company, assuring the outside world that the company has this all handled is something that companies, businesses need to be able to say and do and act upon. In order, we referred to the need for a workforce that is digitally literate. So having said that, we see that companies are looking for employees who are creative and innovative, who are ethical in their understanding for working with AI and data information, and also who have an ability to persuade. In this world today, people need to take a stand or be able to defend themselves, but also listen and share different points of views to hone and to sharpen a very fine-tuned strategy for a whole organization. The skills that these people need to have are the ability to teach others, to be able to communicate well, and to be able to listen well, and to be able to vet issues intelligently with critical thinking in place. Our thought processes need to be advanced to another level. And I believe that artificial intelligence and digital transformation can help us become even better critical thinkers, more valuable to ourselves, our families, and to our companies and our organizations. So technical and data fluency is critical for any company to be able to move forward in this digitally transformed world. So moving forward, what are we to do? So I said a lot, and I wanted to share a lot here with you today, just to give you pretty good grasp on where things are with digital transformation. But you do have resources, and I'd like to volunteer myself as being one of them. So if you are in the throes of reevaluating or creating your own digital strategy, contact me, and we will, my team and I, we're just not just marketers. We also have a business sense, a strategic sense, and that can be of help at a very reasonable rate. You'll get some good quality input from us. So contact me at my email, linya@marketingdigiverse.ai, and we'll help you. Also, now though, what are we to do today? As we move forward, try to squeeze more out of the existing technology stack that you do have in your company. We said before that companies now are having trouble extracting data and making any sense out of it. So let's find a way to extract that data that you do have, get rid of the data that you don't have, that you don't need, that you're expending time and money collecting that you don't need, and streamline your operations that way and make it more efficient. Also, customer experience, sales generation is very important. We want to marry customer experience with customer trust. Those most trustworthy companies will fare well in this environment. Then expand your data and analytics beyond the domain of data scientists. Everyone in your organization needs to be data aware and data fluent in order to be able to carry the whole organization forward with another capability, another toolkit that they have at their disposal. Then revisit your AI foundations and your AI strategies. Take a look at what you have in place now and take a look at what is out there in the world that can be brought into your current stack of technologies that can bring your company forward. And look at all of the options critically with your goals in mind and also with your workforce in mind and your entire ecosystem that you have available to your company, including your customers. Your customers might be a very good source, and they are a very good source of information for you. You want to serve them better. Then improve your coordination and agility with better governance. That being said, we want to increase our controls, increase their effectiveness, not just to put handcuffs on our people, but to be able to guide them and give them guidance and lead everyone in the direction that will help everyone work together to make the goals achievable, reachable, and even exceedable, if that's a word. Exceed goals. Then be intentional at every level and move forward with trust, collaboration, and agility. Agility is another skill that we would like to have in our companies today. Competition is keen, competition is fierce, and agility, to be able to move in a direction before others notice that you're moving in that direction is an advantage. So being agile is a competitive advantage. Okay, if anyone has any questions about that, I implore you, I invite you to reach out to me again at my email. Okay, so some key takeaways. So we have seen that leading companies are leading the way and they're continuing to innovate. And there have been some very great and impressive results seen. We have also seen that there have been companies that have kind of faltered along the way. We can learn from both and design our own strategies, knowing some of the pitfalls and some of the problems to avoid, but also modeling success. Success leaves clues, as someone we both know has said. Then common challenges to exist in becoming digitally transformed. Yes, we're going to have challenges, so let's buckle down and expect them, but also have a way to approach and address them. So in part of a strategic strategy, a strategic digital strategy is to be able to know most likely scenarios, best scenarios, worst scenarios, have a strategy to address each one of them and brainstorm situations that a single one of us may not have thought may not have brought into our thought process. Ask people and brainstorm with people to ferret out, to bring out those issues that we may not have seen that we need to address. Don't be blindsided by just having one set of eyes. use many sets of eyes and many sets of brains. Then leaders are encouraged by expected benefits. So reward success and follow success in your own organization. Reward those who have brought solutions to the organization, and increase the recognition of those who adopt the digital transformation and have championed it and have conquered it for the good. Then successful implementation also relies on common goals. Have buy-in from all your stakeholders, from your workforce, your executives, to your vendors, to your customers, to your collaborators, to your government. Use all of these collaborators, all of your whole ecosystem of business partners. Align them with your goals and let them know what your goals are. And leaders must lay their own digital transformation path. So the transformation path that you lead, it can be changed, can be made so that it can address, and think about your digital plan as being agile, but have checkpoints, and also make sure that the changes need to be made at the juncture of time that you determine. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have gained something from this presentation. And if you would like a copy, please email me. Or if you would like to continue the conversation, I invite you to schedule a meeting with me at the link that's provided in the slide. I'll also provide a link in a follow-up email to those of you who've registered. And those of you who have registered also get the free ebook on the executive guide to the digital transformation. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Next week we have Kim Sunshine, who I love her name, Kim Sunshine, who's going to be talking about transitioning and rebranding. Okay, until then, bye for now and have a great week.